Hi guys! So I'm going to be doing my topic on the landmine situation in Bosnia, which I find to be really interesting, and I didn't know a whole lot, at all, prior to some Google searches. So one recurring statistic that I found was that there are 120,000 landmines still buried throughout Bosnia, and a lot of rural areas are the most affected. They're in places near rivers and along borders, and it says that 1,400 communities are contaminated with mines still. So this is a really sad thing for the country because even in the aftermath of the war, they don't have their land as freely as they should, and it just reminds them every day, the ones who live near there, of the dangers that still exist. So from 96 to 2011, which unfortunately is the most recent year I could find statistics on death and injury rate. So between that time, 1996 and 2011, there were over 500 deaths and over 1,200 injured from landmines. So they have been doing a lot of effort to demine areas in Bosnia, and what that looks like is there's a lot of NGOs and groups out there using metal detectors and dogs to sniff out landmines in areas that they suspect are affected, and they have to be really careful because a force of 6.5 to 11 pounds can detonate a mine. So they use like small garden shovels or their hands to brush over the dirt so that they can take out the mine. And there was this one quote that I found interesting when talking about the people who do this work, and it was, he who does not fear his job shouldn't do it because it is really dangerous, and it shouldn't be taken lightly. They have to wear like bulletproof outfits and shields and face masks and all that get up. So in 2014, there was a lot of major flooding throughout Bosnia, the worst flood damage in 150 years, it said. So what these floods did and had an impact on the mines there was that there was so many landslides and flood damage that it actually moved a lot of the landmines from their already marked areas. So areas in forests that had signs up and were marked off saying that they're mine zones, the mines actually moved, and so now they have been found in people's backyards or in more concentrated areas. So what sucks about that especially is that all of the work that had been done to map off these areas and keep them safe, all of that work has been erased, and they're going back and having to redo a lot of it. So the original goal was to be mine-free by 2019, and they're saying now that that might not be a possibility until 2050 because of all of the damage the floods have had on the mines. So this situation really sucks for Bosnia. As I had said earlier, I believe that they should be able to freely roam and explore their beautiful area and lands and not have to live in fear, especially those who live in rural areas and depend on farming and agriculture. Another interesting article that came up was how Pokemon Go had affected the landmines situation. A lot of people just wandering freely and being distracted while walking into mine-affected areas. There was a lot of accidents from that, so it's very interesting and very, very unfortunate. So thanks for listening.